Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Shalom, and welcome to Less Than 10 Minutes, Words to Yashar'al, Nation of Believers. If you're tuning in for the first time, you will come to know that Yashar'al, of whom I am referring, consists of all those who seek to worship and obey Almighty Yahuah, and who accept Yahusha as Mashyach, as our Messiah. These are those whom I consider my brothers and sisters, whom I consider my family. In this segment of less than 10 minutes, I want to take an opportunity to invite you to join me on Paltalk. Paltalk is a free application. This is not an advertisement, but feel free to join me on Paltalk. The chat room is listed in categories under ethnic groups, African American, and the name of the room is Beacon of Yahusha. I want you to know, although it is listed under these subcategories, these are the constraints of which Paltalk presents options, or present options for you to select. So at this point, this is where Beacon of Yahusha, the Paltalk room, is located. And I want to say to you, it's each Shabbat at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Let me ask these questions. Can we reason with one another righteously? Is it possible to experience Iron-Sharpening-Iron? The intent and goal of this room is to lift up Yahusha Our Mashyach, Messiah, in our obedience and worship. I welcome those who are seeking, desire to be a part of righteous reasoning, and or understands the dynamics of Iron-Sharpening-Iron. Yashar'al, of whom I stated in times past, consists of all those who seek to worship and obey the Most High Father Yahuah and accept Yahusha as our Mashyach, our Messiah. In most cases, I play recordings that I've made prior to opening the room. I am, however, willing, as guided, to pause and or stop the recordings and dialogue or open communications. I ask that if you are in disagreement to anything stated in or said or heard or done, that you prayerfully ask for guidance on how to proceed with engaged conversation or depart. Additionally, I ask that you be willing to forego and or be willing to hear questions as a method for discovering what is right. Remember, scriptures instruct us to be aware. No house divided against itself can stand. If we are mindful of this, let us either attempt to righteously reason with one another, exhibit iron-sharpening-iron, and or know when to part until such time as proven by the Almighty Father. Isaiah 1:18 reads, "Come now, and let us reason together, says Yahuah. Though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they are red like crimson, they shall be as wool." I ask this question: does not the Spirit of Almighty Yahuah dwell in us? And will He not use us one towards another in perfecting the body? Let's examine some scriptures. 2 Corinthians 6:16 reads, "And what union has the dwelling place of Elohim with idols? For you are a dwelling place of the living Elohim, as Elohim has said, I shall dwell in them and walk among them, and I shall be their Elohim, and they shall be my people." Galatians 2:20 reads, I have been impaled with Messiah, and I no longer live, but Messiah lives in me, and that which I now live in the flesh, I live by belief in the Son of Elohim, who loved me and gave himself for me. Ephesians 3:17 reads, that the Messiah might dwell in your hearts through belief, having become rooted and grounded in love. Colossians 1:19, because in him all the completeness was well pleased to dwell. Colossians 3:16 reads as follows, let the word of Messiah dwell in you richly, teaching and admonishing one another in all wisdom, singing with pleasure in your hearts to the Master in psalms and songs of praise and spiritual songs. Proverbs 27:17 reads, iron is sharpened by iron, and a man sharpens the face of his friend. Keep in mind, my brothers, two like metals brought together with the right actions create sparks, and these sparks are the impurities that cannot withstand the friction of the two like metals coming together. So keep in mind the key words, iron and sharpen. Remember, these are like metals. So there is something that is a likeness there. I am compelled to believe with all my heart that we will witness a gathering of a body of believers, an awakening nation, Yashar'al. I believe that in the wake of humbling events, we will witness obedient believers who have been designated to participate in the fulfillment of Yashar'al's gathering. Remember, the Father does not have to ask our permission to complete his plan or to fulfill his words. Remember, man has not always had the text, and also remember we serve a living Elohim, Almighty One, Yahuah, through the living instructions and guidance of the Spirit of Yahusha. So for those of you who are only adamant about scriptures and texts, it would be wise to remember that the Spirit of the Most High will speak through us one to another, open the mouth of a donkey, and if necessary cause the stones to cry out. Who can discern righteous communications? Let him be obedient, and let us watch the words from the Father, Almighty Yahuah, through the Spirit of Yahusha, perform, prove all. Take comfort. Isaiah 55:11 have more life in it than many of us give credit to its message. Pray. And if you're compelled to visit, I invite you to come and join in with our gathering. One last note. I am willing to schedule one-on-one meetings on Paltalk and or group meetings during unscheduled times, or we can set appointed times. I invite you to reach out. Come, let us get acquainted with one another. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, my family, until next time, be encouraged. Know that the Most High Father's plan will be executed, is being executed. And the day draws close when the MessiYah returns, when our Messiah, Yahusha, returns. Until then, until next time, or such as an appointed time of the Most High Father, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom.